evening of August 8, 2016. Outside a secured bank facility in Salem, 3 vehicles are waiting near the gate. One van is filled with sealed wooden boxes. 2 others carry armed security personnel. The convoy slowly leaves the compound and drives through the quiet streets of the city, heading towards Salem Junction railway station. A short time later, the vehicles enter the station yard. On platform 1, railway workers begin unloading the heavy wooden boxes from the van. One by one, the crates are carried across the platform and stacked inside a parcel coach that has just been attached to the Salem-Chennai Egmore Express. The coach is marked VPH 08831. From the outside, it looks ordinary. Just another steel carriage in a long train. But inside that single coach are 226 wooden boxes. Together, they hold an enormous fortune. 342 crore in cash. The doors are sealed and locked. Security arrangements are tight. A team of Railway Protection Force personnel takes position around the coach. Armed guards are assigned to escort the train during the journey. Their job is simple: make sure the cargo reaches Chennai safely. To everyone on the platform, it looks like just another routine railway transfer. At 9:05 p.m., the Salem-Chennai Egmore Express slowly begins to move. The long train pulls away from platform 1 and disappears into the darkness of the night. Throughout the night, it moves from station to station, crossing nearly 15 stops on its journey across the state. Kilometer after kilometer, the train follows the same route it has traveled countless times before. But somewhere along that route, a group of men is waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Near a lonely stretch of railway track, a small group of men stand hidden in the tall grass beside the line. The area is dark and silent. There are no houses nearby, no street lights, and no witnesses. The men say nothing. Then the ground begins to tremble. A faint vibration travels through the rails. The sound grows louder. In the distance, a light appears and slowly grows brighter. It is the Salem-Chennai Egmore Express, approaching Chennai-Salem station. Hearing the train, they shift a few meters toward the station side and hide again in tall grass. They remain crouched low, watching as the train reaches the station and slows to a halt. Now the train engine turned off. In India, most railway platforms are brightly lit in the middle where passengers wait, but the ends are often much darker. The Salem-Chennai Express is a long train, and near Chennai-Salem, the engine and the first few coaches, including the parcel van, stop ahead of the well-lit platform area. In a much darker section, the men remain hidden, still waiting because, while the train stands, guards occasionally step down and check the area around the coach. The men do not move. They stay low in the grass, avoiding any chance of being seen. As the train slowly begins to move, the guards return to their positions. Now is the moment. 5 figures step out of the darkness. They rush forward and grab the metal handles of the coach just behind the engine. The train is already picking up speed, and their feet struggle to find balance on the narrow footboard. One man nearly slips but regains his grip. Another pushes from below, helping the others climb. Few minutes, all are climbed onto the parcel van of the train, staying low against the metal surface as the train gathered speed. The men start working quickly. Using small tools, they begin cutting into the steel roof. The noise disappears beneath the roar of the engine and the constant clatter of the tracks. The tool bites slowly, each movement taking precious seconds. The train sways, making it difficult to hold steady. They know the electrified section lies a few kilometers ahead. If they take too long, the train will reach the high-voltage overhead lines, and working on the roof would become deadly. They hurry, breathing heavily, pushing the tool harder. Sparks flicker in the darkness. Slowly, a small square opening begins to form in the metal. 2 of the men slip through the hole and drop into the darkness inside the coach. Around them are stacks of 226 wooden boxes, carrying 342 crore, roughly $36 million in value. They break open a few crates and pull out bundles of cash. The wooden lids crack open, revealing tightly packed stacks inside. Working quickly, they drop the money onto a cloth spread open on the floor. The cloth fills with cash. In the next moment, it appears tied into a heavy bundle and is pushed up through the square opening. The process repeats rapidly. One after another, the bundles are prepared and passed up. Finally, they make 5 cloth bundles in total. As the train approaches the bridge, their allies are already positioned below. At the right moment, the men on the roof begin dropping the bundles. The group below quickly gathers the cash and loads it into a van parked nearby. Within moments, the rooftop team jumps down from the moving train and runs toward the vehicle. In minutes, the job is done. They disappear into the night, like they never existed. No one on board realizes that 5.78 crore, about 640,000 US dollars, has just vanished. It is early morning. The train pulls into the platform and the journey ends, like any other routine trip. Passengers step off the coaches and the railway yard slowly becomes quiet again. Nothing looks unusual. The doors are still locked. The seals appear untouched. For several hours, the coach remains there. Later that morning, officials from the bank and railway staff arrive to collect the consignment. As they unlock the doors and step inside the coach, something immediately feels wrong. Sunlight is streaming into the compartment. At first, they are confused. The coach has no windows large enough for that much light. Then they look up. A large square hole has been cut into the metal roof. The floor of the coach is scattered with broken wooden boxes and loose bundles of currency notes. Several crates have been smashed open. Within minutes, the realization spreads among the officials. Money is missing. A quick count confirms the shocking truth. 5.78 crore, about 640,000 US dollars, has disappeared from the train. What should have been a routine transfer has suddenly become one of the most mysterious railway robberies in the country. And no one knows who did it, or how they managed to escape. News of the robbery spreads quickly. Within hours, television channels across the country begin reporting the story. Headlines describe it as one of the most daring train robberies in India.
A movie-style heist that took place near Chennai on Monday night. Taking advantage of darkness, a gang of robbers cut through the roof of a train bogie, stealing more than 5 crore rupees of Reserve Bank cash.
Everyone is asking the same question. How could robbers steal crores of rupees from a moving train guarded by armed personnel? The case soon reaches the CBCID. Officers begin examining the parcel coach in detail. Forensic teams inspect the roof, the broken wooden boxes, and the scattered currency notes. They search for fingerprints, footprints, or any small trace the robbers might have left behind. But the results are frustrating. There are almost no usable fingerprints, no clear physical evidence. But one officer notices something on the sharp edge of the cut metal. Under the light, a dark reddish stain glints faintly. It isn't rust, it's blood. With their first real piece of evidence in hand, soon authorities launch one of India's biggest manhunts. Investigators begin questioning railway staff, bank officials, security personnel, and local residents. Hundreds of people are called in for questioning. Some are interrogated for hours. Entire railway departments come under suspicion. Half a year of investigation brings nothing. The entire case now depends on finding just one lead, but the gang had unknowingly gained another extraordinary advantage. One of the police's most powerful investigative tools was about to become useless. In most robberies, investigators trace stolen money through its serial numbers, but not in this case. The answer lies in the type of money that was being transported. This wasn't freshly printed currency from a mint. The parcel coach was carrying old, damaged, and soiled notes collected from banks across the region and destined for destruction by the Reserve Bank of India. These soiled notes could still be deposited or exchanged at banks for fresh currency, but investigators had no reliable serial. The problem becomes clear to the investigators. The crime was carefully executed. Whoever carried out the robbery knew exactly what they were doing. They avoided cameras. They left almost no physical clues. Even the timing of the operation appeared perfectly chosen. Weeks turn into months. Months turn into years. As the investigation struggles to find physical evidence, the pressure on the authorities keeps growing. Investigators begin looking for new methods. CBI teams visited various states across India to examine hundreds of suspects with same criminal backgrounds. media outlets widely reported that the CBI detained several suspects, many of them old criminals with similar crime backgrounds. Thousands of spot investigation, interrogations, interviews produce no progress. The case slowly turns into one of the most puzzling robberies the investigators have ever faced. For nearly 2 years, the case goes nowhere, but the investigators are not ready to close the case. Instead of looking at the crime scene again, they decide to look somewhere else: the mobile networks. Every phone connects to a nearby tower when it makes a call. And on the night of the robbery, thousands of phones were active along the railway line between Salem and Villapuram. Investigators begin collecting the data. It is massive, thousands of numbers. Most belong to passengers, railway staff, or people living near the tracks. One by one, the numbers are checked and eliminated. Alongside this, investigators use precise satellite imagery from that night. Minute by minute, the maps help match the train's exact position with the mobile signals. Most signals appear only at stations and disappear again. Typical passenger movement. These are ruled out. Hours pass. Almost every number is eliminated. Hope begins to fade. One officer reviews the sheets again, just to be sure. One number remains. At first, they think it was simply missed. But when they check again, something feels different. That phone does not behave like normal passengers. It does not exit at common railway stops. Instead, its signal disappears from the railway line, and about 10 minutes later, reappears nearly 10 kilometers away. Investigators realize this is only possible in 2 ways. Either the train stopped, or the user jumped off while it was moving. But records show the train never stopped there. Bingo. They jumped. A deeper analysis of that number reveals more. Investigators check the numbers it frequently contacted. 4 more numbers emerge. Now there are 5. When they examine the registration details, all 5 are linked to the same place, Ratlam, in Madhya Pradesh. For the first time, investigators have a solid geographic lead. Once the investigators identify the cluster of phone numbers linked to Ratlam, the search begins to narrow. Teams travel hundreds of kilometers north to Madhya Pradesh. Quiet surveillance operations begin in villages connected to the phone numbers. Local informants provide valuable leads. Traveling to other states is common here, and many villagers leave home for work. As they question residents, several names surface. Some of the men linked to the suspicious numbers had previously worked or stayed in Chennai. Same one name appears again and again. Dinesh Party. Piece by piece, the mystery surrounding the phone numbers begins to unravel. Soon, the operation moves from surveillance to action. In October 2018, police teams begin making arrests. The first 2 suspects are taken into custody in Chennai. Within days, few more members of the group are picked up from different locations. Investigators now finally believe they have found the men behind the train robbery. During interrogation, the suspects begin to describe what happened that night. The climb onto the train, the hole cut into the roof, the bundles of cash thrown into the darkness beside the tracks. According to investigators, the gang first transported the loot back to Madhya Pradesh and divided the money among themselves. They reportedly used around 1.78 crore to purchase land and other properties within after robbery. Then came an unexpected twist. On November 8, 2016, just 3 months after the heist, India announced demonetization.
We have decided 500 rupee and 1000 rupee currency note will no longer be legal tender from midnight to night.
The 500 and 1,000 notes stolen from the train suddenly lost their value. Investigators later claimed that the gang panicked. Unable to exchange large amounts of cash without attracting attention, they allegedly burned a significant portion of the remaining money. Some was spent earlier, some disappeared, and much of it was never recovered. But even recovered cash wasn't enough. Without serial number records, investigators couldn't legally prove it came from the train robbery. The gang was eventually identified and arrested, but a large part of the stolen fortune was never recovered, and proving every rupee in court remained a challenge. In the end, they had carried out one of India's most daring train robberies. but much of the fortune they risked everything to steal never truly benefited them.